So I'm at it again. I'm making some little trinket things to hold, some stuff that I want to put onto the tray of the truck. I've already made a start on it, and I thought I'd better do a video on it. Well, the first thing I want to do is mount this. I got this at a swap meet, and I think it's pretty cool. I want to mount it somewhere on the truck. It all collapses, and I'll probably store it in the collapsed position. And to mount this, what I've come up with is one of these. So this is just a piece of 2.5 mil steel that I cut down into a strip, and then I belted it around a pole here. Got it to the desired shape, drilled a few holes in it, and I went down to the local hardware and bought a $2 padlock for it. So I'm filing down some tabs here that I've made out of some, I think it's either 5 mil or 6 mil steel, not quite sure, doesn't really matter. Drilled some holes in it, put tiny little bolts in it, held it together, and I'm just filing with a round file or half round file this shape into it here, so that these, I've got another one here, can sit like this. That's a pair, there's two in there, they'll sit one end then the other end over here, and I'll weld that to that like that, cutting this directly in half so it opens up. And I'll show you that in a sec once I've filed all these. Okay, with them filed out, they're going to fit like this. So I'll have to weld along here, I'll have to weld along the back edge too. Before I even do that, I'm going to have to cut this loop into two halves. Okay, I've set this up, set my TIG welder up, put a couple of little tack welds here and here, and I'm going to pull it out of the vise first before welding any more to see if my creation works. Well, I think it's going to work, but I've made a major boo-boo here. And if you look carefully, you'll see right here where there is no way this is going to open because this hits on it. So I'll pull this all apart, which is not too bad, it's just one bolt, and I'll take a section out right there on my Lenisher. I know I'm always talking about the Lenisher, but it's a great tool. And I think what I'll have to do is round it off a bit, and I think it should work once I do that. But before I do that, I think I better weld this up a bit better, because I'm worried that little weld's just going to break. So with a little bit ground out, as you can see, I've had to round that off there, and there. You can see that this is going to work no problem. So I'll weld up the other one. I think what I'll do as well is do a bit of grinding up and around this section here as well. Take some off here so it doesn't have a square edge. Not that it really matters, but I think it'll look a bit better aesthetically. Well, I spent a short time on these, pulled them apart, ground them up so they look a little bit better, and they're going to work just fine for my needs. Well, it's been a fair few days and I've finally got these clamps done. I needed those few days because I couldn't think how I was going to mount them. Well, this is what I came up with. It's just a stepped plate, which I've welded on to the actual hinge. Just put a bit of a gusset here for a bit of strength, and of course I've drilled a hole. I've also gone ahead and ground a little bit more out of the hinge there, as I was finding it was fouling when you were opening it, because this will sit flat, and with all that bulk on there, it just wouldn't open. As you can see like this, it'll open to that point there. Well, with these top clamps done, I've got to move on to the bottom brackets. I think the easiest thing to do is just use a bit of this exhaust tube here, cut some sections off, and then just weld a bracket off the back of that. Well, I've cut up a few plates and a few rings for these bottom brackets I've got to do. I've bent them up here, and I'm going to have to weld them up in this orientation here, because I want to get that step just like these ones. Well, I've gone ahead and welded these two pieces of steel together, and I've created that step I was talking about. Next thing to do is weld the ring on. Well, there you have it. They're all done, all welded up. It turned out well. Well, I guess the next thing I've got to do is throw them on the ute and show you exactly what I'm doing with these. So what they are a bracket and a latch for my hatchet here on the side. And also this shovel or pick. I'll probably never use this stuff, but I just thought it looked cool on the truck. Anyway, that's a wrap for this video. Catch you on the next one. See ya!